Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 black rappers who passed away, a tribute to the legends who left us too soon, but left an undeniable mark on hip-hop culture. From pioneers who laid the foundation to stars who lit up the charts before tragedy struck, this list honors those whose voices still echo through beats, rhymes, and timeless verses. In the world of rap, authenticity, struggle, and triumph often live side by side. These artists not only entertained millions, they spoke for the voiceless, challenged the system, and brought real-life stories to the mic. Their deaths shocked fans around the world, but their legacies continue to inspire. Join us as we count down the most influential black rappers who have passed away, ranked not just by fame, but by their cultural impact, lyrical power, and the holes they left in the world of music. Let's celebrate their lives, their music, and their stories. Because legends never die. 10. Big L, 1974 to 1999, wordplay genius of Harlem. Lamont Coleman, better known as Big L, was born and raised in Harlem, New York. His intricate wordplay, clever punchlines, and raw storytelling placed him among the most respected lyricists of his time. Bursting onto the scene in the early 90s, Big L was a founding member of the underground hip-hop group Children of the Corn, alongside future stars like Cameron and Maudallery. His 1995 debut album, Lifestyle as Ov de Poor and Dangerous, showcased a young but remarkably skilled MC. Songs like Put It On and Street Struck highlighted both his braggadocious style and deeper reflections on urban life. Big L's freestyle sessions, especially those with Jay-Z, are still considered legendary. Tragically, on February 15, 1999, Big L was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Harlem. He was just 24 years old. Though his life was cut short, his influence lives on. Many consider him one of the greatest lyricists to ever pick up a mic. 9. Pop Smoke, 1999 to 2020, voice of Brooklyn drill. Bashar Baraka Jackson, known professionally as Pop Smoke, brought the sound of Brooklyn drill to the mainstream with a thunderous presence. Bursting onto the scene in 2019 with Welcome to the Party, Pop Smoke's gravelly voice and intense delivery instantly caught the world's attention. His debut mixtapes, Meet the Woo and Meet the Woo 2, were packed with hits like Dior, which became an anthem of resilience and rebellion. As the face of Brooklyn drill, Pop Smoke was seen as a torchbearer for New York rap's next generation. On February 19, 2020, Pop Smoke was shot and killed during a home invasion in Los Angeles. He was only 20 years old. Despite his short time in the spotlight, his posthumous debut album Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon topped the Billboard 200 and earned multi-platinum status. Pop Smoke's legacy is one of potential fulfilled and stolen. His music continues to influence a new wave of drill artists, and his voice remains a staple in hip-hop playlists. 8. Eazy-E, 1964 to 1995, godfather of gangsta rap. Eric Linwright, known worldwide as Eazy-E, was a founding member of the groundbreaking group NWA hailing from Compton, California. Eazy-E helped redefine rap in the late 80s with brutal honesty and unflinching depictions of inner-city life. With his high-pitched voice and ruthless entrepreneurial drive, Eazy-E was the face of Straight Outta Compton, a record that brought gangsta rap into the national spotlight. As the founder of Ruthless Records, he also helped launch the careers of Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. His solo work, including the EP 5150, Home for the Sick, showcased his charisma and storytelling. Eazy-E was unapologetic, controversial, and undeniably influential. In March 1995, Eazy-E was diagnosed with AIDS and passed away just a month later at age 30. His death raised awareness about HIV/AIDS in the black community and marked the end of an era in West Coast hip-hop. Though gone, Eazy-E's impact on rap music and culture is still felt. From the beats of today's artists to the attitude of rebellion he helped pioneer. 7. Nipsey Hussle, 1985 to 2019. The marathon continues. Ermias Joseph Askidum, known as Nipsey Hussle, was more than a rapper. He was a visionary. Raised in Crenshaw, Los Angeles, Nipsey combined street-savvy lyrics with messages of economic empowerment and community building. After years in the mixtape circuit, Nipsey's 2018 debut album Victory Lap earned a Grammy nomination and critical acclaim. Songs like Hustle and Motivate and Dedication became anthems for ambition and perseverance. But Nipsey's influence went far beyond music. He opened businesses in South LA, invested in STEM education for youth, and worked to end gang violence through community collaboration. Nipsey was a bridge between street culture and social uplift. On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey was fatally shot outside his Marathon clothing store. He was just 33. His death sent shockwaves through the world, prompting tributes from fans, celebrities, and even politicians. The Marathon Continues isn't just a slogan. It's a legacy of purpose, ownership, and inspiration that lives on in everything Nipsey touched. 6. Prodigy, 1974 to 2017, the infamous wordsmith. Albert Johnson, known as Prodigy, was one half of the iconic Queensbridge duo Mobb Deep. Alongside Havoc, he helped define the sound of East Coast hardcore hip-hop in the 1990s with classics like the infamous and Hell on Earth. Prodigy's gritty delivery, street poetry, and haunting lyrics painted vivid pictures of life in the projects. Songs like Shook One's PT2 and Survival of the Fittest are staples of rap history. Despite struggles with sickle cell anemia, a condition he publicly battled, Prodigy remained a prolific artist, releasing solo albums and publishing an autobiography that pulled no punches. He passed away on June 20th, 2017, at age 42 due to complications from sickle cell. His death marked the loss of one of hip-hop's most honest and unfiltered voices. Prodigy's legacy is one of lyrical excellence and raw authenticity, influencing generations of rappers who value street realism and emotional depth. 5. XXXTentacion, 1998 to 2018, The Troubled Star. Yase Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, better known as XXXTentacion, was a polarizing yet undeniably talented figure in hip-hop. Emerging from the SoundCloud era, X blended elements of rap, rock, and emo to create a deeply emotional sound. His breakout hit, Look at Me, showcased his aggressive style, while tracks like Jocelyn Flores and Sad revealed a more introspective, vulnerable side. His 2018 album debuted at #1 and solidified his place in mainstream rap. Despite a troubled past and legal issues, X amassed a massive following, especially among youth who connected with his openness about depression and pain. On June 18, 2018, XXXTentacion was shot and killed during a robbery in Florida. He was 20. His death left a complicated legacy, one filled with both controversy and compassion. What's clear is that X's music opened a lane for emotional expression in rap, and his influence can still be heard in today's melodic, genre-blending artists. 4. DMX, 1970 to 2021, the voice of pain and power. Earl Simmons, known to the world as DMX, roared onto the scene in the late 90s with unmatched intensity. His debut album It's Dark and Hell is Hot was a raw masterpiece, and he became the first rapper to have his first 5 albums debut at #1 on the Billboard 200. With hits like Rough Riders Anthem, Party Up, and Slippin', DMX was both a street poet and a spiritual warrior. His growl, his vulnerability, and his truth made him beloved by fans from all walks of life. DMX also starred in films like Belly and Romeo Must Die, proving his charisma extended beyond music. But he also struggled publicly with addiction and personal demons. On April 9, 2021, DMX died after suffering a heart attack triggered by a drug overdose. He was 50 years old. Though the world lost a giant, DMX's music continues to uplift and inspire. His prayers, pain, and passion remain etched in hip-hop forever. 3. The Notorious B.I.G., 1972 to 1997, the King of New York. Christopher Wallace, aka the Notorious B.I.G., redefined East Coast rap in the mid-90s with his unmatched storytelling and effortless flow. Born in Brooklyn, Biggie burst onto the scene with Ready to Die, a gritty, reflective debut that turned him into an icon. Hits like Juicy, Big Papa, and Mo Money Mo Problems showcased his charisma and lyrical skill. As the centerpiece of Bad Boy Records, Biggie was instrumental in bringing East Coast hip-hop back to the forefront during a time dominated by West Coast sounds. On March 9, 1997, Biggie was shot and killed in Los Angeles at just 24 years old. His death, still unsolved, occurred just months after the murder of Tupac Shakur, marking the tragic climax of the East-West rivalry. Biggie's influence is eternal. His storytelling, style, and swagger shaped the sound of modern rap and made him a legend. 2. Tupac Shakur, 1971 to 1996, the revolutionary poet. Tupac Amaru Shakur was more than a rapper. He was a movement. With his razor-sharp lyrics, magnetic presence, and political awareness, Tupac became a voice for the oppressed and a symbol of resistance. From Keep Ya Head Up to Hit 'Em Up, Tupac's discography was a mix of conscious rap and street anthems. Albums like Me Against the World and All Eyes on Me remain cornerstones of hip-hop. Beyond music, Tupac was a gifted actor, a published poet, and a passionate advocate for justice. But his life was also filled with conflict, both with rivals and within himself. On September 13, 1996, Tupac died 6 days after being shot in a drive-by in Las Vegas. He was 25. His death remains one of hip-hop's most painful losses. Tupac's legacy endures through his words, his activism, and the undying question, what if he had lived? 1. Takeoff, 1994 to 2022. The quiet genius of Migos. Kirsnick Curry Ball, better known as Takeoff, was the soul of Migos, the chart-topping trio from Atlanta that helped popularize the triplet flow in modern rap. Known for his laid-back demeanor and sharp bars, Takeoff often flew under the radar, but his talent was undeniable. With hits like Versace, Bad and Bougie, and Stir Fry, Migos reshaped the sound of the 2010s. Takeoff's contributions were crucial, his verses often the most technical and thought-provoking. On November 1, 2022, Takeoff was tragically killed in a shooting outside a Houston bowling alley. He was just 28. Takeoff's death shocked fans and peers alike. He was seen as the calm, humble member of Migos, a quiet genius whose loss feels especially unjust. Though gone, Takeoff's voice, style, and presence remain embedded in the DNA of modern hip-hop. These 10 rappers may no longer walk among us, but their music, messages, and legacies continue to shape the world. From poetic prophets to street reporters, their stories are stitched into the fabric of Black culture and hip-hop history. Let's remember their names. Let's play their music loud. And most importantly, let's keep their spirits alive through art, truth, and love. If you enjoyed this tribute, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful content celebrating Black excellence in music. Rest in power to all the kings we lost. Your voices will never fade.